Michael was a 32-year-old construction worker living in a small town in America. He wasn't wealthy, but he was known for being honest, hardworking, and kind. He always tried to do the right thing, even when life was difficult. One cold winter morning, Michael received devastating news. The construction company where he had worked for years was shutting down due to financial problems. Just like that, he lost his job. At first, Michael remained hopeful. He updated his resume and applied for every job he could find. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Despite his efforts, no one called him back. His savings began to disappear. Bills piled up on the kitchen table. Some nights he sat alone wondering how he would make it through another month. Yet, every night before going to bed, Michael prayed, "God, I don't understand why this is happening, but I trust that you have a plan." One snowy afternoon, while returning from another unsuccessful job search, Michael noticed an elderly man struggling to carry several heavy grocery bags from his car to his house. Michael was exhausted and worried about his own problems, but he couldn't ignore someone in need. He walked over and offered to help. The elderly man gratefully accepted. Together, they carried the groceries inside. Before leaving, Michael spent a few extra minutes helping the man fix a broken shelf in his garage. The old man thanked him and offered him money, but Michael politely refused. "I'm just happy I could help," Michael said with a smile. A few days later, Michael received an unexpected phone call. The elderly man had told his son about Michael's kindness. His son happened to own a growing construction company in a nearby city and was looking for reliable workers. The son invited Michael for an interview. Michael was excited, but there was a problem. He barely had enough money left to travel to the interview. That night, he prayed once again. The next morning, his phone rang. It was an old friend he hadn't spoken to in months. "Michael, I don't know why, but I felt like I should call you today," his friend said. After hearing about Michael's situation, the friend immediately offered to help pay for the trip. A few days later, Michael attended the interview. He did his best and left feeling hopeful, but he still wasn't sure what would happen. 1 week later, another phone call came. This time, it changed everything. Michael got the job. Not only was the salary higher than his previous position, but the company also offered health benefits, career growth opportunities, and long-term stability. For the first time in months, Michael felt a huge weight lift from his shoulders. As he sat quietly that evening, he reflected on everything that had happened. If he had never lost his old job, he would never have met the elderly man. If he had ignored someone in need, he would never have received the opportunity. And if his friend hadn't called at exactly the right moment, he might never have made it to the interview. What once felt like a series of setbacks now looked like a series of blessings. Michael realized that throughout his hardest days, God had never abandoned him. Even when he couldn't see it, doors were being opened, people were being placed in his path, and a better future was being prepared. Looking up at the evening sky, Michael smiled and whispered, "Thank you, God. When I couldn't see the way forward, you were already making a way." From that day on, Michael never forgot the lesson he had learned. Sometimes God helps good people not by removing every obstacle, but by guiding them through the storm towards something greater than they ever imagined.